Hi everyone, today we are going to learn about one of our vice presidents. It's like the president, only his president was John Quincy Adams and Andrew Jackson. Those were his two presidents. He was from the South. He lived 1782 to 1850. He was a Democratic Republican and also a Democrat. He was a very nice guy. Now, I forgot about Daniel D. Tompkins. If I have it, then then you can let me know in the comment section below. Or you can just tell it to me. Hold on. Let me pause my recording. Alright, no, I did not do a video about him. He was the fourth governor of New York from 1807 until he became vice president under James Monroe. Now we are skipping Martin Van Buren because he was already a president. He was a president and a vice president. Richard Mentor Johnson. He served from Van Buren's entire term. He lived 1780 to 1850. Now we are skipping John Tyler because he was also a president. We're skipping the ones that are presidents. George M. Dallas served 1792 to 1864 he was born in 1792 and died in 1864. He served from 45 to 49. Next up, William R. King. We'll talk about him in 1 second. Back to William R. King. Sorry, I lost my breath there for a second. He lived 1786 to 1853. Is that Buchanan? He was Franklin Pierce's vice president. John C. Breckinridge was a former vice president of the United States. Serving from 1857 to 1861. He took office at the age of 36. Now he lived 1821 to 1875. Now Hannibal Hamlin. We will be skipping Andrew Johnson because we already learned about him, my friends and my subscribers. Or should I say MacGyver subscribers. He served from 61 to 65 as the vice president. He lived 1809 and died in 1891. He was a Republican. He lived in Paris, Maine, and died in Bangor, Maine. Now, Squire Colfax. He was a journalist who served 1869 to 73 as one of our vice presidents. He lived 1823 to 1885. He quit the job in 1873. Now moving on to Henry Wilson. 5 minutes through this video? Alright. He was the 18th Vice President of the United States, Henry Wilson. From 1873 until his death in 1875. In 75, in 75, that's when he died. He lived 1812 to 1875. Now, William A. Wheeler. He served from 77 to 81. 10 years after he took his oath of office of the vice president, he died. Lived 1819, and he didn't serve that long. We're skipping James A. Garfield because that was Chester Arthur, and he took over as the President of the United States. Thomas A. Hendricks was a former governor of Indiana. He was a Democrat, just like Grover Cleveland. He served from 81 to 85, and way after he took his oath of office for a vice president. He died at age 66. Next on is Levy P. Morton. He was also a vice president under the president named Benjamin Harrison. He served from 1889 to 93, and he lived 1824 to 1920. Now, Adlai Stephen I, because there was more. He was also a vice president. He served 1893 to 1897 under Grover Cleveland, because then his old vice president Thomas A. Hendricks died. He lived 1835 to 1914. Garrett Hobart is next. He lived very long. He was born in 1884 and died in 1899. That's why we are skipping Theodore Roosevelt, because he was already president at the time of the death. Charles W. Fairbanks he served as the vice president under Theodore Roosevelt. He was the first president elected for a second term. He was the first vice president to serve 2 terms in the office of the President of the United States. He served 1905 to 1909. He was born in Ohio in 1852 and died in 1918 during the Spanish flu. Now, James S. Sherman served as the Vice President of the United States under Taft from 1909 until his death in 1912, because he lived 1855 to 1912. Thomas Marshall. He's the last one we're gonna learn about today. He served 1913 to 1921 under Woodrow Wilson. He lived 1854 to 1925. That's all for this week's video. Tune in soon when we learn about our next vice president. See yous. We made it to the 20th century. The 20th century had arrived. Isn't that great? 20th century presidents. Alright, this video is almost done, so make sure to subscribe, hit the thumbs up button, and hit the bell. Ding, 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 ding. Bye.